We have an update on the Knicks trade plans. Teams are contacting New York about Mitchell Robinson's health and availability because they want to trade for him. However, 3 teams are facing a major obstacle in making a deal for Mitchell Robinson. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you have notifications turned on, so anytime we drop new content, you get notified. And now, let's get started. Teams are contacting New York about Mitchell Robinson. The Knicks could be on the verge of making a major trade. Several teams have contacted the Knicks about Mitchell Robinson's health and availability. And this is not the first time that we've actually reported this. However, it's always shocking to me that a player like Mitchell Robinson, who hasn't played one game this season, continues to get interest on the trade market. Unfortunately, 3 teams that are looking to trade for Mitchell Robinson are facing a major obstacle in getting a deal done for him. Let's break down these latest reports from NBA insider Ian Begley. Shout out to Begley for giving us the following information. According to him, several teams have been inquiring about Robinson's health. So that tells you that teams would have interest in trading for Robinson if they knew he was going to be healthy. When healthy, Robinson is one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. The 26-year-old is under contract through next season, so it makes sense that he would have strong trade value if healthy. But the 3 teams I've talked to recently didn't have clarity on Robinson's health. And because of that, it's likely why they couldn't make a deal or an offer for Robinson, because they don't know what they're going to get back. Is he damaged goods, or is he in really good shape right now? That's the main question that they cannot get clarity on. Begley continues here by stating, in a perfect world for the Knicks, Robinson comes back healthy and plays his way into shape ahead of the playoffs. I'm sure the Knicks would prefer to have a healthy Robinson at backup center than any alternative, because the alternative involves them trading assets for another center. Any Knicks trade at the moment is complicated by the new CBA rules. They cannot take back more salary than they send out. So the clearest path for New York is to have Robinson back on the field. Remember here, this is what Begley is stating, in a perfect world for the Knicks. But as we often see, nothing is really perfect in the NBA. I appreciate Ian Begley confirming other teams' trade interests, because it's one thing to say that teams are contacting the Knicks about Mitchell Robinson's health and availability, but it's another thing to go the extra mile and say the reason they're doing that is because they want to trade for him. And that's exactly what Ian Begley mentioned there. But another thing he said was he spoke to 3 teams, and the 3 teams he spoke to could not get clarity on Mitchell Robinson's health status. And because of that, they really couldn't make an offer for Robinson, at least not one that the Knicks would likely entertain. And I think that's by design. New York does not want to give any team right now any legitimate updates about Mitchell Robinson, because they want to be the first to see how he's performing and how he looks with this roster. And if they make a decision that he does not look right or doesn't look ready, or the roster just looks better without him, then they'll start entertaining those discussions and potentially have him even more in the trade block and see what they could get for him on the open market. But as of right now, as you just heard from Ian Begley, in a perfect world, the Knicks want to get Mitchell Robinson back, want him to be healthy ahead of the playoffs, and have him come back as a force, playing right behind Karl-Anthony Towns, and sometimes, I would have to assume, play right alongside Karl-Anthony Towns, because we saw the Minnesota Timberwolves run out Gobert and Cat. Since they did that, you have to know that the Knicks are itching right now at the possibility of playing Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns together. And Robinson's return date is still estimated to be late January, early February. So the Knicks still have some time here to make a decision on either trading Mitchell Robinson or retaining him. At this point, they're looking like they're going to keep Robinson, wait till he's fully healthy, watch him come back, and see how he looks with this roster. But let's say they do that. He comes back, he returns healthy, but he does not look like the same old Mitchell Robinson. Maybe he's taken a step back with his game. New York at that time may look to entertain a trade. And if they do, who would they look to trade for? What potential players are available and on the table that they could likely trade Robinson for to get back on this team? Well, thanks to Ian Begley, he also gives us those updates as well, too. According to Begley, so it seems like the Knicks and any team with interest in trading for Robinson will have to wait and see how his rehab plays out before making any concrete decisions about his future. But based on the Knicks' approach in the offseason, I'd assume that they would have trade interest in Jonas Valanciunas, Goga Bitadze, and Nick Richards if they are unsure about Robinson's health. All of those centers were on New York's radar this offseason. Now, you might be asking yourself, why am I only seeing bigs? That's because if they trade Mitchell Robinson, they're going to want a big back. And the only bigs likely to be available, as you just saw, are Jonas Valanciunas, Goga Bitadze, and Nick Richards. And out of all three, Jonas Valanciunas is the most likely. I would rather Nick Richards, but unfortunately, that trade package is likely going to be high because the Hornets are going to ask for a lot of assets in order to make a trade happen for the Knicks to get Nick Richards on this team. With Goga Bitadze, he is one of the better players on the Magic right now. He is having a great year. He's also skyrocketed his value. There is no way the Knicks are ever going to be capable of affording that man. So we can just wipe him off the list already. So the only two names left are Jonas and Nick Richards. And between the two, New York can probably afford Jonas the most because they have Washington's first round pick. And I believe the other reports indicated that if Washington could get some type of first round compensation back for Jonas, they would likely make that move. A lot of the contending teams right now are offering second round draft pick compensation along with a couple of young players in exchange for Jonas. The Knicks may not have the young players to be able to give up, but they have that first round pick. That doesn't mean anything to us or any other team in the NBA unless your franchise's name is the Washington Wizards, because to them, it means a lot. And if you know Leon Rose, he is always looking for the best available target, best available option, and the lowest cost move. And right now, if these are all the names on the table, the lowest cost option available would likely be Jonas Valanciunas. And if we need more bench scoring, if we need more dominance, and potentially another big body inside, Jonas checks all of those boxes. I understand he's not the greatest defender anymore, but when he played us, you saw what he was doing inside. Dominating, getting those points for their bench. What do we need? More points off the bench. Another player that Tom Thibodeau will trust and utilize because of his years of experience in the league, because of the way he can rebound the basketball and score inside. If he was traded to this team and we did not have to lose Precious Achiuwa in that type of deal, which, by the way, that is a possibility. And if the Knicks can pull that type of deal off, I would welcome him with open arms because, number one, he's constantly available. He's another player you can put out there, and he would help the bench. He would help the scoring, and that's exactly what the Knicks need right now. More bench scoring, a way that we can utilize our depth to make sure we can go against the top teams in the league without dragging down our starters, without playing our starters significant minutes. Once we are fully healthy, that's going to determine whether New York goes to the buyout market, Westchester, or if they have to make a major trade happen. But it's clear, if they want to go the trade route, several teams are interested in trying to trade for Mitchell Robinson. Only Leon Rose knows what direction we're going to move forward in. But you know what? I trust him. I trust him to make the right move for this franchise because every single time he's put in this situation, in this predicament, he always makes the right move to help us moving forward. And there is no doubt in my mind that this time around, he is not going to do the exact same thing because that's just what Leon Rose does. He helps New York get better and improve as a franchise. And that's why I love this Knicks front office. And I love that we are finally being led by a competent leader in Leon Rose. But what about you guys? What do you think about these following reports indicating that several teams have contacted the Knicks about Mitchell Robinson's health and availability, basically indicating that they have trade interest in him? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.